Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fola. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how to make this beautiful dress. It's a maxi dress with front twist. I'll be showing you how to cut and sew the dress. I made this a while ago, but I forgot to film the process. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to sew the upper part of the dress. The down part is just a half circle flare joined to the bodies. I'll be showing you how to cut it, but I won't be joining it in this video. Our main focus is just on the upper parts of this dress. So if this is what you like to know more about, keep on watching and let's get started. I'll be drafting out the basic bodice pattern first. I have my lines here already. So on the front part, I have the shoulder line, the chest line, the bust points, the front waist line. I won't be needing the under bust line for this dress. And on the back part, I have the shoulder line, the chest line, and the back waist length. The difference between the front waist length and the back waist length is 2 inches. I have the center front here. All my measurements will be starting from that line. I placed half of the shoulder measurements on the shoulder line and on the chest line. And I connected with a straight line. Then I marked the neck width, which is 3.5 inches. This pattern is for a small size. If you are a plus size, you can use 4 inches for your neck width. And the neck depth here is 3.5 inches or so. Then I connected it with a curve. Then I came down by 1 inch from the shoulder line and I connected it to the neck width to form my shoulder slant. Then I got the midpoint of what I have there and I came in by 0.75 inch. Then I placed quarter of the bust circumference on the chest line. Then I connected the 3 points together with my curve to form my armhole. Then the next thing I did was to place half of my nipple to nipple measurements on the bust point line and on the waist line. And I connected that with a straight line. On the waist line, I placed 1 inch on both sides of the bust span line. And I came down 1 inch below my bust point. Then I connected my dots together like that. The next thing I did was to place quarter of the waist circumference on the waistline. Then I added the 2 inches dart intake. Then I connected that to the chest line. Then I added my side seam of 1 inch to the chest line and to the waistline. And I connected that with my straight ruler. Then I added my bust dart, which is 2 inches. I placed that 2 inches below my bust point line, like that, and I connected it to the bust point. That is all for the front pattern. I'm going to move to the back now. I have my center back here. All my measurements will be starting from that point. I placed half of the shoulder measurements on the shoulder line and on the chest line, and I connected that into a straight line. Then I placed the neck width, which is 3.5, and the back neck depth is 1 inch. And I connected that with a curve. Then I came down 1 inch below the shoulder line, and I connected that to the neck width to form my shoulder slope. Then I got the midpoint of what I have there, and I came in by 0.5 inch. I placed quarter of my bust circumference on the chest line. Then I connected the 3 points together to get my armhole. I added my 1 inch side seam allowance to the chest line. I placed half of my bust span on the waistline and on the chest line. Then I connected that with a straight line. On the waistline, I placed ½ inch on both sides of the bust span line for my darts. Then I connected that to the chest line. To eliminate zipper bulge, I came in by 1 inch from the center back. and I connected it to the chest line. So this will be my new waistline. On the waistline, I placed quarter of the waist circumference plus the 1 inch dart intake. Then I connected that to the chest line. Then I added my 1 inch side seam allowance and I connected the points together. So that will be all for the drafting of the pattern. All I'm going to do now is to cut out. I'm going to cut out my darts like that. Then I'm going to slash the bust darts. I won't be slashing that through, and I'll close that with my masking tape. After closing the bust darts, you'll notice a shortage on the side. All you have to do is to blend the side line just like that. Then I'll cut that out. Then I added my 1 inch zipper allowance to the center back and I connected the dots. Then I cut out the back pattern also. So I'm going to transfer my pattern to fabric now. The best fabric to use for this dress is a lightweight fabric like Duchess, silk or crepe. I'm making use of this taffeta fabric just for the purpose of this tutorial. So I placed my fabric on fold and I placed my front pattern on it. Just make sure what you have from the top of your fabric to the down part is about at least 60 inches because we are going to be cutting the rope together with the front bodies. So you have enough rope to go round your body. So I pinned my pattern paper down to the fabric. So the first thing I did was to measure what I have from the center front here to where the dart is starting from. I think I have 2.5 inches here. What I'll do is to keep marking the 2.5 inches downward till I get to the hem of my fabric. And I'll connect that with a straight line. Then I'll measure what I have on my dart. So I have 4 inches for my dart there. What I'll do is to start marking the 4 inches mark. From that line, I'll mark 4 inches downward. That will be the width of my rope. So I'll keep marking the 4 inches and I will extend the line to the down part. So I'm going to cut out now. While cutting, I'm going to add ½ inch to the down part and I will add ½ inch on both sides of the line. Also, the ½ inch is the allowance to join my rope. So I'll add ½ inches to the down part like that. I won't cut directly on the line. I will add ½ inch to the side of the rope like that. I'll do the same thing to the second side also, just like that. Then I cut out the sides. Then I added ½ inch allowance around the neckline, the shoulder line, and to the armhole to join to the sleeves. So this is what I have after cutting. So I've cut out the back part also, and I added ½ inch allowance to the down part, to the neckline, armhole, and the shoulder line. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to join my back darts. And for the front, I'm going to remove my pattern paper and I'll open up my fabric. So I'll fold over the rope part like this. Then I'm going to notch the points where the rope is starting from. I'm going to notch it like that. I'll do the same thing to the other side also. I'm going to notch where the rope is starting from, the ½ inch allowance. Then I'll start stitching from that point. What I'll do is to use my pins to hold down my rope. So I'm going to pin that down all the way to the down part. Then I'll start stitching from that point downward with my ½ inch allowance. Then I'm going to close the down part like that with ½ inch. And I'll do the same thing to the other side also. I'm going to fold it over and stitch with ½ inch allowance. This is what I have after sewing down my rope. So I've turned one of the ropes to the right side. So to turn the other rope, what I'll do is to notch the ½ inch allowance on the waistline, the ½ inch allowance that I'm going to join the down part to. I'm going to notch it like that so it can lay flat when I turn my rope to the right side. And I'm going to turn my rope to the right side through that channel. So this is what I have after turning to the right side, and this is the part that I'm going to join the down part to. The ½ inch allowance on the down part is where I'm going to join my flare to, and this is how it's going to look like. So the next thing I'll do now is to finish up my neckline with a bias tape. I'm going to turn my neckline with the bias tape. You can make use of a facing if you want. Then I'm going to join my shoulder lines. I'll place the back on the front, right side facing each other, and I'll join the shoulders. Then I'm going to close the sides also with my 1 inch side seam allowance. So this is what I have after fixing that up. I've joined my sides, my shoulder, and I've taped the neckline also, and I gave it a good press. And I have my ½ inch allowance round the waistline that I'm going to join my flare to. As I told you earlier, I won't be joining the flare in this particular video because I don't have enough fabric, but I'm going to show you how to go about it. So to get the radius of your flare, what you are going to do is to divide your waist by 3.14. The waist I'm working with here is 24.5 inches. So I'm going to add 2 inches zipper allowance to that. So that will be 26.5 inches in total. What we have here is the waist circumference plus 2 inches zipper allowance, and that is 26.5 inches. So what I'll do is to divide 26.5 inches by 3.14. What I have is about 8.43. I just approximated that to 8.5 inches. So the radius for my flare will be 8.5 inches. So to know what I'm going to fold, I'm going to add the length of my flare to the radius. So let's assume the length of the flare I'm making here is 21 inches. So the length is 21 inches. I'm going to add the radius to that. So that the total will be 29.5. So what I'm going to fold is 29.5 inches. When you're calculating yours, it's going to be obviously more than this. I'm just using this as an example. So I'm going to measure from the tip of my fabric. I'm going to measure 29.5 inches. Then I'm going to fold it over like this. Just make sure what you have from the fold here to the other side is 29.5 inches. That is your radius plus the length of your flare. Then you're going to fold it over again like this, like a triangle. I'm going to arrange that properly. So from the top here, I'm going to mark my radius. The radius is 8.5 inches, so I'm going to measure around 8.5 inches, just like this, and I'll connect my dots. Then from that point, I'm going to impute the length. The length is 21 inches. Instead of going round like that, all I did was to add the radius to the length of the dress, and that is 29.5. So from the top there, I'm going to mark 29.5 inches. I'm going to rotate that like that and mark 29.5 inches. And I'll connect my dots together. So that will be all. When you are about to cut, you are going to add your allowance to the down part, your hemming allowance to the down part. And when you're about to cut your radius, you won't be cutting directly on the line. You are going to come up by 1/2 inch. That will be the allowance to join to your upper bodice. So you're going to cut on the 1/2 inch allowance before that line. I'm not cutting this out. I'm just explaining to you how to go about it. So after cutting, you're going to add the flare to your upper bodice and you're going to fix your zipper at the back. Then you're going to fix the sleeve of your choice, and that will be all for this tutorial. So after you must have joined your flare to the down part, this is how you are going to tie your twist dress. You're going to take your belt and cross it over like this. And you're going to take that to the back. And you're going to tie the rope at the back like that. And that will be all for this tutorial. I hope this video was helpful to you. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. And put on your notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!